Estás en vivo.
Hello and welcome to Immigration USA with Katia. This is Katia Quiroz. I'm an immigration lawyer in Las Vegas with more than 20 years of experience. And this is Carla Pereira, my daughter. Say hi, Carla.
Hi.
And she is my assistant for the past 7 years, right? Yes, so today we are home and Carla is going to do her homework while I talk to you guys about everything that has happened in immigration in the past week and what we need to learn to become better informed immigrants. Thank you, Carla. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about several different things. We're going to talk about what is going on with the effort of President Trump to terminate citizenship for kids of immigrant parents. We're going to talk about TPS, the news about the lawsuits against the cancellation of TPS for Venezuela and the cancellation for Haiti, for TPS for Haiti. We're also going to talk about silent rates and what it means and how can it affect the people who are working right now, especially in small mom and pop businesses. And we're going to talk about expedited removal. And I know it's a very technical term, but you can learn what it is and you can learn how to defend against this. So if you are watching me right now, please share this show because this is very new to me. I don't really do, I'm not used to doing this in English, but I hope that we will be able to help a lot of people by doing this in English as I've been doing it in Spanish for many years. So let's talk about citizenship for the kids of immigrant parents. President Trump has tried through an executive order to stop, to cancel citizenship for kids of immigrant parents. However, several lawsuits have been filed against this executive order. So far, all of the judges who have reviewed these lawsuits have placed holds, injunctions. Injunction is a technical term to say that while the lawsuit is going on, the order of the president cannot go into effect, which means what? Which means that today, any immigrant mother or any immigrant parent who has a kid in the United States has a U.S. citizen kid. So it doesn't matter that your kid does not have a U.S. citizen parent, your kid is still a U.S. citizen. So if you are pregnant and you are worried about this, please don't be worried. This is not the time to be worried. I know the president is issuing lots of executive orders, but these specific order that wants to cancel citizenship for the kids of immigrant parents, it's not legal, will not be legal, and it will have to go through a process in the courts. And this process in the courts may take years. So in the meantime, every kid that is born in the United States is a U.S. citizen. And the second thing that I want to say, if you are a pregnant mother in the United States and you don't have the money to pay cash for your delivery, please look into the services that the states provide. There are some programs in every state has a special type of program for pregnant women. But let's say you don't have any money to pay for your medical needs while you're pregnant. Don't be afraid to go to the hospital to give birth to your child. If you don't have any money, the government will pay through the Medicaid program for the delivery of your child. And it will not be a public charge towards the immigrant. It will be a subsidy to the U.S. citizen child. So please do not be afraid. The most important thing if you're pregnant is that you take care of that baby and that baby comes healthy and full of everything they need in the United States. Okay, so this was topic number 1. So if you find it important, interesting, please share it with your friends because that way we can spread the love, spread the information, and help many more immigrants. Let's talk about TPS. TPS, or Temporary Protective Status, it is a program that protects people from selected countries from being undocumented in the United States because there is something going on in their countries that does not allow them to return. So right now, we have TPS with several different countries. TPS, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Venezuela, Sudan, Ukraine, Afghanistan, and the Haiti, and the government has decided to put an end to TPS for Venezuela. They are two groups of TPS, one that ends in April and one that ends in September. And this government has decided to put an end to it. However, two lawsuits have been filed against this cancellation of TPS. And we are expecting in the next coming days to find out if these lawsuits will prevent TPS from ending on the dates that I just told you. Because the people who have filed these lawsuits against TPS for Venezuela have claimed that the way in which the Department of Homeland Security and the representative of the president has ended TPS is not correct. It's racist and does not have valid arguments. So the normal reason to stop TPS from any country is when the situation that gave rise to the TPS no longer exists. In the case of Venezuela, the country is suffering due to a dictatorship, and right now they are still suffering. So it's not that things have changed in Venezuela. So we believe that the reasons that the government has to end TPS for Venezuela are not the right reasons. So these lawsuits have been filed. We should hear from them in the next coming weeks. And if everything goes the way we expect it to go, then the people with TPS from Venezuela will be able to stay longer until there is a decision in the lawsuit. And the decision in the lawsuit could take months or years. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted on that, okay? So that was topic number 2, TPS for Venezuela. Haiti. Haiti also has received notice of cancellation of the TPS for them, and we believe it's also for the wrong reasons. The situation in Haiti has not changed. It is terrible at this moment. So hopefully another organization will file lawsuit against the government for the termination of TPS for Haiti. So stay tuned for that. Let's talk about the next topic. The next topic is the silent rates. What are silent rates? Well, all of us are seeing these rates where ICE goes to the people's homes or goes to the people's businesses, and people are really scared and they come in, right? Well, there is another way in which the government can raid a place, and these are called silent raids or I-9 audits or ICE audits. So those are 3 different technical terms that we use to name these raids. And what do they mean? Well, what they do is they don't go after the immigrants. ICE doesn't go after the immigrants. ICE goes after the employer, after the company that hires the immigrants. So what they do is they send a letter to the employer, to the company, and they say in this letter, we have decided to conduct an audit of your employees. So please provide us with a copy of the I-9 form that you provided each and every one of your employees for the past 3 years when you hired them. This is a form that every employer is supposed to provide to every person that they hired. And in that form, the person that they hired has to say their name, address, date of birth, social security number, and what is their legal status. And the employer needs to review and check the documents that these people provide to assert their legal status. So after the employers receive the letter, they are supposed to provide the government with the copy of the I-9s, and then the government reviews to see if all of them have documents. And if they don't, then the employer is supposed to fire these employees. Now, on top of that, the employer is also going to be subject to fines and penalties if the government finds that the way in which the employer conducted the I-9s is not correct, if they missed filling out properly the I-9, and if the employer knew that their employees were undocumented, then that employer might end up going to prison with criminal charges. So it's a very serious thing. If you have a business and you have employees, please make sure you hire an immigration lawyer to to prepare you, to teach you how to handle these I-9s, because the silent rates have started, and maybe in your mailbox one of these days. So beware, okay? So it's very important that every employer, every company owner who has employees in payroll, make sure to learn and to know how to conduct the I-9 processes in case they have an I-9 audit. Well, this brings us to the last topic of today's show, expedited removal. What is expedited removal? Expedited removal is when the government deports a person without giving them the chance to see a judge. So if you live in the United States undocumented for more than 2 years, if you encounter ICE and ICE knows that you're undocumented, they are going to want to deport you, right? Well, they cannot do it so fast. They need to provide you with an immigration deportation process. So because you are going to want to see a judge. The only way to deport you super fast is if you self-deport by signing a voluntary departure order, which is something you don't want to do. So if you are ever encountered by ICE, you need to have with you in your wallet, in your purse, you need to have evidence that you have been living here in the United States for more than 2 years. Then, if you don't, but what happens when you don't? You entered undocumented and you've only been here for a year. Well, then things get really scary, because if you have been here for less than 2 years, then the government can deport you and they don't need your consent. They don't need you to sign any documents, and they don't need to provide you with an immigration court proceeding. They don't need to let you see the judge. So that's the scary part about expedited removal. Where does this happen? Expedited removal normally happens at the border, when somebody tries to come in with fake documents, when somebody tries to come in hiding on a car. That's where the Border Patrol issues expedited removal orders. Or when ICE finds a person in the United States that has been here for less than 2 years. If that happens, then that person will not be able to defend, because they will not have the right to see a judge and will not be able to say, I need to stay. So what happens in those situations? What do you do? Well, there are situations where you can do something, which is you can ask for asylum. You can say something has happened that prevents me from returning to my country. But if they don't let you apply for asylum, then maybe for withholding of removal, which is another procedure. So expedited removal is the worst, the harshest way of deportation, because it does not allow the immigrant to have really any chance to see a judge. So to avoid confronting expedited removal, we need to make sure to never use fake documents or claim to be a U.S. citizen or come hiding in any type of car when we try to come to the United States. But also make sure you have evidence that you have been in the United States for more than 2 years with you at all times, in case ICE encounters you, and you have the evidence so that you can ask to see an immigration judge. Okay, because you will have the right to see an immigration judge if you have been here for more than 2 years. Who can defend against expedited removal? Well, you don't defend against expedited removal, but if you have a U visa approved or a VAWA approved or a T visa approved, then those will forgive you for having a prior expedited removal order. So if you were at some point in the past subject to expedited removal and you re-entered the United States and now you have a U visa that it's approved, or a T visa that it's approved, or a VAWA that it's approved, the government will not be able to deport you again, to remove you again. If you entered with a visa, tourist visa, student visa, and the government finds you and tries to do expedited removal on you, then you can say, no, you cannot do expedited removal on me because I entered with a visa. I didn't enter undocumented. So those are defenses for people who should not be subject to expedited removal. But if you entered undocumented and you are here for less than 2 years and ICE gets a hold of you, there's very little you can do, okay? As you can see, today we have learned about many different things. What is going on with citizenship, what is going on with TPS for Venezuela and Haiti, the silent rates and how employers need to start learning how to protect themselves, and what is expedited removal and how we need to make sure that we protect from it. I hope this episode of Immigration USA with Katia was interesting to you. If you like it, please follow, please subscribe, turn on the little bell so that next time I do a live, you will be one of the first to learn everything about immigration. I am trying to do this every Monday, and hopefully you learned something with me today and you'll share it with your friends and your family. Thank you for being here. Bye.